Okay, so this is my first mode, and if I'm going to drag any new router here, let's say this one 1941, if I'm going to access this router for the first time, see this device is booting right now, right? We'll see
Yeah.
the booting process as well, how to upgrade the iOS,
Okay.
how
Yeah, I need
devices are
that.
going to boot up, how devices will look up for the flash memory, for the RAM, right, for the safe configuration, how devices will load the configuration from TFTP server automatically. We'll see those all things as well.
Okay.
For now, just see, when I am accessing this router for the first time, it is asking one thing, that is, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? So there are some configuration in your operating system. Do you want to boot up your device with that configuration, or you want to just boot up with the default operating system only? So
So,
I am going to configure everything. IP address, I will perform the configuration. User, I will create.
so we say
So
no
I
in
want,
that.
yes, I want this router to be the new from the scratch. I want to set up. I will always type here no, and
No,
you will also type always no here,
no. Okay.
right? After that, you will get access in user mode. This is your user mode. Here, few commands are available, few show command, right? But this mode is not the configuration mode. You are not allowed to configure anything here.
Hmm.
Right now, we are going to understand three modes: user mode, privilege mode, and configuration mode. Later, we'll understand one more mode, that is Roman mode.
Roman mode. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know about
Roman
that.
mode is used to manage the Roman
Don't know.
mode is used to manage the
Oh, no idea. This is the first time I'm hearing that.
device that is related to the
Okay.
management, right?
Okay.
Let's say your operating system is corrupted, right? Your flash memory is not working, your router is crashed. So in that
Okay.
case, you will not have access of your device. So you can't configure, operating system is not there, right? So in that case,
Yeah.
what will happen? Your routers will boot up with the mini iOS, backup iOS,
Okay.
and we need to set up the main operating system there. How? Through Roman mode. We'll see that, right? For now, just understand the user mode, which is the basic
Okay.
verification mode.
But then is this yeah, I know you told me that we can go see that later, but just a quick question. Um the Roman mode, do we access that via the management port that we have on the switches or via the console port we
No,
can?
to enter in the Roman mode, what you will do, see, in the production, in the real time, how you are going to access the routers or switches, any networking devices. Your devices are in rack. Let
Yeah.
me tell you
Uh,
about the technician work, right? What first works begin from the technician in the network only, right? They are responsible to set up the devices, like to install
the
the
device.
device, to give the power to devices, right, to connect the cables. And after that, you will be sitting somewhere in the knock. He will call you, oh hey brother, I installed the routers, I installed the switches, I have connected the LAN cable, WAN cable. Now you need to configure, right? And you are responsible
Yeah.
to manage the device.
Yeah.
So
So via SSH we connect
for
on
the
that.
first time, see, if the router is completely new, you can't SSH.
Yeah, we have to go via the console and physically connect uh,
Exactly. Because right
the
now
cable.
IP address is not there, your router is not connected with network.
Yeah,
You are
I
sitting
understand.
somewhere in the knock. Let's say this is the knock team, right? You are sitting here, and your site is over here. This is your data center, for an example. Here someone has just installed the new router, which you need to live today. This is your activity for today.
Yeah.
So they have installed the device, they have given the power to device. Now next thing is, you you have to make reachability till your laptop, so that you can access it through SSH. Maybe you are working from the home, right? And through VPN
Mhm.
you are connected with this network, remote VPN, right?
Yeah.
So what you will ask to the field engineer, just to connect the console cable, brother, to your laptop and give me the any access of your
On the laptop.
laptop, right? And you will
Yeah.
just configure the basic reachability. Once you will have the basic reachability from your laptop, you will ask field engineer to leave the site. He can now go, and now
And
you
I'll
can
I'll
access
have
your router
access.
remotely. And
Okay.
once you
Yeah.
will have access of your router remotely, you can begin with the configuration, right? So if I
Okay.
talk about the access of networking device in production, you are going to access it like this. Let's say you have one router here, this one, for an example, R1, and it is going to looks like this in the rack. Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
On the top,
Yes.
you can see power distribution devices there, right?
Yeah.
And after that, we have router R1. These
Yeah.
are empty slot on the router. This is
Yes.
empty slots. We can use it in future. Right now, I have only
Yeah.
two port. One is fast Ethernet 0/0. One is fast Ethernet 0/1.
On.
It might be possible in future. We need more ports. We need gig ports.
So
We
we
need,
can
let's say,
yeah, buy
port to
and
connect
add
the
it.
fiber cable, right? So what we'll do,
Yes.
we add the module here according to our requirement. We have different kinds of
Yes.
module available in the market. For fiber cable, you will have different
FFPs.
module. Yes, right? For 100 Mbps, for 1 gig, 10 gig, 100 gig,
5 gig. Yeah.
we will have different kinds of module which we need to add over here. Done. Okay. Now next purple. See on the router, one is F0/0 port, one is F0/1 port. And behind the router you will find one console port as well.
Console phone.
Console port is used to access your router physically. It is
Physically, yeah.
for physical
For the
access.
first time, yeah.
Physical access, right? So what engineers will do, FE or technician will do here, technician is going to connect their laptop to this router through console cable, isn't it?
Yeah. And they're gonna give me access on their laptop so I
Yeah.
can.
Where you will
Okay.
find
Yeah.
the
That I
console cable, here is the console cable. On which port? It will insert this cable on the console
console.
port. And this side on which port?
RS23. Yeah.
Very good. On the
That one.
terminal. And now
Terminal.
he is going to open any software like Putty or Secure CRT in their in their
Yeah.
PC, laptop, and through which he can access the device terminal.
Yeah.
The first thing which you need to do over here is you have to protect your router, right? Like this, otherwise
Yes.
anyone can access it,
Yeah. 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 Because there's no password. So
right? So we will protect the router by configuring the password on all the ports. Like console port is for physical access. We have the line VTY port for SSH or GUI,
yeah.
auxiliary port. So we need to protect these all ports. 1 minute, brother, 1 minute.
Yeah.
So here I got the access of my router in user mode. Again, you can see.
Yes.
This is the laptop of technician, right?
Yeah.
The data center technician. Now you will get the take the remote access of his laptop and you will perform some basic configuration. Basic configuration means it might be possible. For an example, you are sitting here. There is one switch one, or like this I'm saying switch one. Some client machines are there, and it might be possible you are in the network, or you are working from the home, or you are working from the office. Somehow you are connected with this network. This is LAN, company network, corporate network.
Yes.
This is the corporate network. so many clients are there, and I am assuming that this is your management PC. You are the admin, this is the admin PC. It is not
Okay.
necessary that you are connected in the network only. It can be connected through VPN as well, right? Later you will learn that.
Yes.
Now, for an example, here is your PC and you need remote access of your router. So you are going to just perform the basic configuration on the router so that you can access it remotely. Right now you cannot access this router remotely, right?
No, I won't be able to. Even though we connect a cable because we didn't give an IP address
Correct. Right? So
to the
what you are going
interface.
to do, see, I am going to tell you the basic and required configuration on the router for the SSH access and to protect the router. First command is I am in enable user mode. I will run the enable command to enter
Enable.
in privilege mode. What is the difference between enable mode and privilege mode? See here, user mode, it will allow you to view the state of the router, right, but not allow you to modify its
Modify
configuration. And
configuration. Yeah.
even this is basic so commands mode, right? We can verify the basic things only. I have already shown you, right? Few commands are
Yeah.
available, not all the commands are available.
Yes.
Question, only these commands are available here. Under show we can check the SSH, you can check
Hmm.
the users, you can check the TCP connection, you can test the connectivity, that is fine, but this is basic verification mode. We can troubleshoot basic things. And as a L1 engineer, when someone is going to start their career in the networking, let's say I'm talking about their first job in the networking, so they will only have access in this mode. They will only have access in user mode, so that they are
User
not
mode.
so that they cannot apply any change on the router, because they are fresher, right? What if they will run not that
Yeah.
command by mistake? And
For them to not to break anything.
yes, exactly. Right. So how will manage the users, like which user should have what access? We have to learn the privilege level configuration here. That is our topic. Later we'll see that.
Okay.
Privilege. How privilege means you are going to create multiple user on the router and you are going to provide some access to them, like what command they are allowed to run on the devices. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
Now user mode, and I need to enter in privilege mode from the user mode, so I will run command enable. And here if you
Enable.
will put question mark, see lots of verification commands are there, right? All the
Yes.
verification commands, even after so you can see all the verification
More.
troubleshooting commands are there. This is my main troubleshooting mode.
Okay.
Troubleshooting mode, right? The verification mode, the main verification mode, right? And command to enter in the privilege mode is enable. Again, if you want
Enable.
to go back from the enable mode, you will run the disable command. And see, if you give the enable command in the user mode, notice the prompt change. You move to privilege mode, and this mode allow administrator to modify some of the configuration of router, basic configuration. Privilege mode is for the basic configuration and advanced troubleshooting. All the verification
Okay.
commands are there and some basic commands are there for the configuration. Done. The main configuration mode is your configure terminal mode,
Terminal.
and command is going to be configure terminal to enter in the configure terminal mode. Again, to go back you can use exit command
Exit.
or disable command here. This
Okay.
is about the mode, three modes: user mode, privilege mode, and configure mode, right?
Configure.
So right now I want to configure this device, so I will enter in configure mode. Now you can see this is the main configuration mode of router. Here we will perform all the advanced configuration.
Configuration.
Done.
Okay.
Let's talk
Yes.
about the required configuration over here. Praful, what configurations are required? First command was enable, right? Second command is going
Yeah.
to be config
Configure terminal.
terminal T.
Config T. Yeah.
Then we need to enable one password here. Go to line console. First of all, I am going to protect line console port. Line console 0. And here I will say password. Let's say Cisco 123. Okay.
Yeah.
and then you will say login or login local. What is the difference between login and login local?
Login local is when you connected like a cable. So
No, no.
that's log.
If
No.
you are going to run login command, then it will only ask you for the password. That hey, if you want to access this router, tell me the password. If you are going to run
Okay.
login local, then it will ask you username and password. Who you are? Tell me first that. You are the admin, then what is
Oh,
your
okay.
password? It is like that.
So it will ask for username as well when we put login local,
Hmm.
right?
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Okay. So login is only it will ask you for only the
Password,
password, but login local it asks you for the username and the password.
correct.
Okay. Yeah. Got that.
So I am saying, for an example, login local. So it will ask me for username as well as password. Then exit from this mode. Now my console 0 port is protected, right? Similarly,
Okay.
for the remote access, you need to protect line VTY 0
PTY.
to 4. What do you mean by 0 4? 0 to 4. I am
That
creating 5 virtual interface here, 5 lines. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
for
Right? Means 5 user can access this device at a time. If I am saying 0 only, line VTY 0 means one guy can access
one
this
user.
router at a time.
Okay.
Right? So you tell me what you want, 0 to 4 or only 0? Only 0 means one user. 0
Right.
is also sufficient, right? I want
It's only for
only
one
one.
person
Yes,
at a time. Yeah.
only for one user. Clear?
Usually we put 0 to 15, right? Because the
Yes,
maximum is 16, I think.
16. So 0 to 5 is sufficient. I'm
Okay.
assuming that sometime maybe 2, 3 guys need to access this router. So let's say 0 to 4. And here also I'm going to set password. Password is going to be Cisco 123, and again login local.
Local.
And one more thing here you need to add, that is transport input all. Transport input, you can say telnet, you can say SSH, or you can say all. All means both telnet and SSH.
SSH. Okay.
Enable both telnet and SSH. Then login local.
Transport input all. Okay.
Okay, then again exit from here. So now we have protected the console port, we have protected the
Transfer
line
for
VTY port. The next thing is we need to protect the privilege mode. Like if someone is in the user mode, Praful, if someone is in user mode, if someone is in user mode in this mode and they want to enter in configuration
privilege.
mode, they will run enable password, and I want that whenever someone is going to enter in the privilege mode from the user mode, it should ask for password, right? Just to protect
Okay.
our privilege mode, or you can say configuration mode. Here we can configure the enable password. Enable password.
Password.
Again, enable password is, for example, Cisco 123, right? The enable password is your plain text password. Your password will be not encrypted. Your password is in will be in plain text. If you will
Fintech.
configure enable secret, your password is going to be encrypted.
Okay. Yeah.
Enable secret Cisco 123. And if you want to encrypt all the password, like line console password, line VTY password, then you can run one command, service password encryption. I am going to show you that, don't worry.
Okay.
Now we need to create user here. Username, for an example, admin, and you can define the privilege. For now, you can ignore the privilege. Later we'll see the privilege. Okay, let me say admin, and password Cisco or admin 123. Admin 123. Similarly, I can create one more username. I can say Praful, and Praful, your password is going to be, your password is Praful @123. I will have my own username, my own password. You will have your own username and your own password. Okay,
Yes.
done. We have created the user. Now for the SSH, we need to generate the crypto key RSA. Before that, you have to configure the host name of device. Host name, I'm saying R1. Name of my router is
Router will be
is
R1.
R1. Then crypto key generate RSA, right? You can configure the domain name, IP, domain name and host name is required to generate RSA key. So I'm going to say domain name is, for an example, cisco.com, right? So it is
Okay.
going to use, for the security purpose, it need host name and domain name to generate RSA key. So that's why I have configured the host name and then I'm generating the RSA
Key.
key. Then exit from here. You are already in the global configure mode. Then we will configure what? Interface F0/0 fast Ethernet 0/0. Then no shut. By default, all the interface of router is down.
Oh, shut. Yeah.
Shut command is running, right? So to remove
Yes.
any command from the router, you will add no in the
No.
beginning. Shut is already running, so I am saying no shutdown. I am removing that command. Okay.
Okay.
And then IP address. IP address,
Address
for example, 10.1.1.100 255.255.255.0
0.
and exit. Now after running these all commands, you will be allowed to access your router remotely.
Okay.
After running these all commands, you will be allowed to access your router
Remotely.
remotely. Right? Let me copy these all command and let me paste on router. See, again I am in user mode and here I am going to paste all the commands. It is asking for the size of your crypto key. Let's say 512 is sufficient. Crypto key is generated, right? SSH is enabled. All good. Now you can see my host name is changed.
Or,
Now if I am going to show you the running configuration, so running configuration, you can see this is your enable password, this is your enable secret. Enable secret is encrypted password. Here is my
encrypted
host name.
password.
The total size of my configuration is
848 bytes.
bytes, right? Which version is running?
15.1.
And see, here we need to discuss these three things as well. No service, timestamp, long date and time in millisecond. No service, password encryption. If I am going to enable this command, by default, see, this command is removed. Service password encryption. No is here, right? But
Yeah.
if I am going to again enable this command, what will happen? Automatically my all password will be encrypted, like enable password, line console password.
So we
Rest,
won't be able to see the password in plain
yes,
text.
correct. This is the low level encryption, but okay, your password is at least encrypted, not showing in plain text. If someone has the running configuration, they cannot see the password. It provides some basic kind of security. Clear?
Okay. Yeah, clear. And even for I mean, every password will be encrypted,
Yes.
even the one for the console and for
Service password encryption will encrypt all the configured password
and
on
for
router.
telnet as well.
Yes. Now,
Okay.
after that, in the running configuration, you can see we have two users, one with name admin, one with name profile.
Full.
Then IPSS version 1, my domain name is cisco.com. A spanning tree protocol is running. We'll talk about this later. And here is my interface, fast
Rapid one.
Ethernet 0/0. See, IP address is not showing, interface is still
Shut.
down. That means our command is not applied on the router interface. It might be
Okay. Yeah,
possible
because
there
I
was
think
some issue. Let me
we
check.
got yeah, it asks for the yeah, it asks for the key for
Okay,
the five.
okay.
Yeah, that's why.
So now
Okay.
again you can copy this interface configuration and I can put it over
Paste it.
here. Config T and paste the command interface configuration. Done now. Now let me show you the running configuration. Now you can see the running configuration size is increased.
86, yeah, increase. Yeah, the 2 users.
And now you can see fast Ethernet 0/0 interface is configured.
Yeah, we have an IP address there.
Correct. Then here is my line console. You can see on the line console interface login local command is running and password is running.
Let's go. Yeah.
Line VTY interface. This is my configuration, running configuration.
Okay.
Right. Very good. Now here we also need to enable DHCP service so that this user can get IP address. So on the Cisco router, here you can find the commands to configure basic protocols. See, right now I have performed this configuration, hostname configuration. Here is the command configure hostname on router. Then configure banner on the router. If you want to configure any banner, then you can use this command. See, let's say I want to configure the banner over here, and banner is any message you want to give to the user who is going to access your router. So I can say banner MOTD, and here I can use any special character, this one, and then I can say this is, let's say, private router, or welcome to PM networks. This is corporate router. So don't don't apply any change, for an example, or any message unauthorized user
Yeah,
should not access any message over here,
got that.
and then we'll end with the same special character. Enter. What it's saying?
This
Done.
is yeah.
Right now, see, if I'm going to exit from here, and now if someone will try to access this router through console, now if the same user is going to access this router again through console, okay, through console, now you can see he is not able to access. One message is giving here on the top, welcome to PM networks. This is corporate router, so don't apply any change. And after that it is asking for username, because we had enabled the login
local, yeah.
right? So for an example, you are the admin and you want to access this router, so you will use your credential. I will use my credential. Your credential is admin and password was
Cisco 123.
123. Admin and Cisco 123. No, Cisco 123 is admin and Cisco @123, I think.
Okay, yeah, it was
admin and password Cisco. Here we can check what is the password on line console. Cisco 123.
Yeah, Cisco 1. No, but for admin was admin 123.
Oh, admin 123. That is admin 123. Admin 123. Admin and admin 123.
123.
Now you can see I got the access of my router
yeah.
R1. Right? If I'm going to enable command, again it will ask me for password. This enable password is Cisco 123. Now I got the access in privilege mode. So now if you have the password, then only you can enter in
privilege
mode. Right? Now some passwords are showing in plain text, so run. Some passwords are showing in plain text, like you can see. So I want to encrypt these all password. What I told you, which command you will run? Service password encryption. By default, no command is running, no service password encryption. If I'm going to enable it, and then if you will check, so running configuration, now you can see your all the passwords are encrypted. This is low level encryption. Done. You can see all the
That's
password, username and password, the line VTY password.
you have a 7. You see password 7, and then what does that mean? The password 7,
The encryption
is
type,
that a level?
we'll see
Okay,
this. We'll see this.
okay.
Password is now my password is encrypted. What is this 7 number? We'll talk about that, right?
Okay.
Which number we should use. Don't worry. But now password is encrypted. See, you know about the event on router. The most
Even
important thing to troubleshoot the issues in network is checking the logs. You know this? Logs
no,
is
have not used that yet.
logs is event on the router. Whenever any operation will happen, right? You are going to set the port, you are going to up the port, your router will generate a log message.
Okay. So that's by
Config the
default.
interface F0/0, and for an example shutdown. See, are you able to see the log message?
Okay, that's the message when we
The,
shut it down. It
this is not the
says
actual
it's
message, this is the type of message, the logs, like it is the
okay.
critical log or it's normal log, it's change log, which type of log it is for full. So this is
Change.
change log, right? And
Link flag
we'll talk
change.
more about this, but here is my actual message. My actual message is interface fast ethernet 0/0 change state to down,
Administratively down. Yeah.
administratively down, right? And for the line protocol also. But is time and date there with the in the log message? No. Can I later verify that this router was generated this log message at what time? No. Right? Time is not there.
No, right now, no, no.
Later, let's say users are complaining that at 2 a.m. I was not able to access the Google server for an example. So you need to check the logs at 2 p.m. in the
At
night,
that
right?
time.
Tomorrow
Yes.
morning when you will come to office, you will connect with your network through VPN and you will start troubleshooting. First thing that you will do is you will check the logs at that time on the router. But if time is not there, how you will identify the log at 2 a.m.?
We won't be able then.
If you want that time should be also here, so see the running configuration again. So run in the running configuration, earlier service password encryption service was no, now we have enabled it.
Service.
Similarly, see the date and time logs is no, this
It's
service is
no.
no, right? So if I can copy this command and again we can enable it, again we
Yes,
can
we can.
enable it, config t, and let me run this command over here. See, service timestamp log date and time in millisecond. Got it? And
Yeah, so
now
now it's enabled.
interface F0/0 no shutdown. Now if it will generate the log, you can see time and date is also there,
Yes.
right? Even there is one more troubleshooting tool that is called debugging. For an example, I am going to enable any routing protocol for now. Don't worry about this routing protocol. Router
OSPF.
EIGRP, let's say 10,
OGRP.
and network 10.1.1.0. Just have enabled for example, right? And I want to see the EIGRP messages here, so I can use the debugging tool. Debugging is a troubleshooting tool like your ping, trace route, used to see the log message, event message on the router. So I can say debug EIGRP packets. Enter. Now it will show me the EIGRP packets and see the EIGRP packet. Now date and time is there, right? With the debug as well.
Sending hello on. Okay.
At what time it is sending the hello message of EIGRP. This is the third service. This was the third service in the running configuration. So run, you can see. Now service time, date and time is enabled. Password encryption is enabled. And for the debugging, still this service is disabled,
No.
but now time is
Disable.
showing here. So in the simulation, you don't need to enable this command. In the on the production, you need to enable this command as well. Otherwise, with the debugging events, you will not get date and time.
Okay.
Okay. So here in the simulation, when I am turning on the time and date, timestamp for logs for date and time, then automatically it is enabling this one as well for the debugging. date and time. All good?
Okay, so if you enable the second one first, it will enable the first one as well.
This is for the debugging.
Okay, but if I enable if the
No, on
timestamp
the
log
real
is no,
devices, on the real
we
devices, it is not going to say date and time with the debugging events. For the debugging, you have to enable this service.
okay.
Okay.
So meaning in the production, those three should be enabled.
Yes, these three
Okay.
should be enabled. Let me copy this command and let me add this command as well. And now I am expecting you know the meaning of these three command,
Yes,
three
but then for
services.
the logs, it's only when we'll be getting error messages or anything change
Any
in
event.
the any event. And for the debug, this is more like if something is not working, so we can go check like debug EIGRP. So it's gonna show us everything related to EIGRP or
Correct.
like debug VLAN,
Exactly.
maybe.
For an example, 2 router R1, R2, and we are running the OSPF routing protocol, but your OSPF neighborship is down. So you can
Okay.
enable the debugging of OSPF just to check that both routers are sending the hello message or not.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got that.
Right? So these three services should be enabled. Next thing is Praful, how these client machines will get IP address. Client machine will get IP address to DHCP server. So now we need to enable DHCP service on the router.
Yes.
Let me configure the DHCP now here on the router. For the DHCP, here also you can find the command in your note.
And
This is
yeah.
banner. Then saving the configuration of your router. You can copy the configuration. See, right now my configuration is in RAM. Right? We will discuss the memory of router as well. There are multiple types of memory like RAM, ROM, flash. If you will check the RAM, this is the command, show running configuration to check the RAM content. If you want to check the NVRAM, which is the non-volatile memory, then you will use a
Non-volatile.
startup configuration. So a startup. So you can see right now there is nothing in the startup. The startup config is
Okay.
not urgent.
Not everything is safe. Yeah.
Right now I don't have
So
any.
if there's a power cut, so we lose everything.
Yes, we lose the configuration. So we can save our configuration with the help of this command. Then next configuration is enable password. We have already seen enable secret. We have enabled seen and already seen the basic verification command. So running configuration to check the running configuration. Enable password on the console port. This is the command. Encrypt all the password. This is the command. Configure IP address on router. This is the command.
Yeah.
And enable telnet and SSH. This is the command we already did.
Yes.
Enable SSH on the router. We already did IP domain name, username, line VTY, password, login local, transport input, all or SSH or telnet. Enable password and crypto key generate RSA. So we have enabled the SSH as well on the router.
Yes.
Now to access your router remotely, you will use this command on the client machine SSH -l, then the username and the IP address of your router.
Router.
Very good. Telnet command to enable telnet. Here it is. DHCP configuration. Here is your DHCP configuration. You can see I need to get one pool, DHCP pool. My pool name is here CCNA. Here we can define the network from which network it should assign IP address to the client machine. What should be the default gateway IP address? What should be the DNS server IP address? Everything.
Okay.
Right. So let me create one pool here on my router. I'm going to say IP DHCP pool, and name of pool is, let's say, Cisco, and my network is mask is 255.255.255.0. Default
0.
router 10.1.1.100,
Uh,
the gateway IP address. DNS server IP, let's say 10.1.1.100 only. Right. Here you can also configure the WLC IP address, the wireless device, wireless controller. Right. Let me copy it and let me paste this command over here. All good?
Yes, sir.
Now again, if you will check running configuration, then you can see size is now,
Increase 1142. Yeah.
yeah. And where the DHCP configuration,
IP DHCP pool. The name of the pool is Cisco. The network is 10.1.1.0. Default router. So the default router is the IP address of the interface. DNS server, same thing.
right?
Yeah.
Now client machine can get IP address. Let me take you to PC and let me try to get IP address from the DHCP. Question is how
DHCP.
DHCP works perful. Behind the scene, what is happening? Don't worry, we'll see that. But now you can see my client machine got the IP, first IP address from that subnet. 10.1.1.1, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, gateway IP address is 10.100, DNS IP address is also 10.100. Done.
100.
Here is your admin PC. On the admin PC, you can manually configure one IP address. Let's say 10.1.1.10. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Gateway is 10.1.1.100. And the DNS server is 10.1.1.100. Done. Now, you are the network admin. Now you need access of your router for your configuration. Because right now we only configure the basic things, right? The required configuration to
Yes.
access this device remotely. That's it. So now you will open your terminal, command prompt, and here you are going to write telnet and the IP address of your router 10.1.1.100.
100.
Before accessing, must check the reachability ping 10.1.1.100 that I am reachable or not. Yes, my router is reachable.
Yeah.
Now you can ask your FE, your technician, to leave the site because now you can manage your router remotely.
Remote. Yeah.
Right. So okay, now field engineer is not there. Field engineer will disconnect their console cable and they will turn off their laptop, put their laptop in the bag, and he will leave the site. Now you are going to manage your device through remote.
Remote.
Right. Let me access telnet and IP address 10.1.1.100. It is asking for the username. Username is admin. Password is admin
Admin
1
1,
2
2, 3.
3. Wow, great. We got the access.
They have access.
We can also try with SSH. Telnet is not secure protocol. SSH is a secure protocol. SSH -L, username is admin, and IP address is 10.1.1.100. Wow, I got the SSH access as well. Password admin 1 2 3. Admin 1 2
Admin
3.
1, 2, 3.
Great. The log message and I got the access. So telnet and SSH both are working properly. I'm able to access my router. Now I can
Router.
manage my router from here
Remotely. Yeah.
remotely. Right? Enable, it will ask you to enable password, that is Cisco 123. Very good. Now the first thing is you need backup of your configuration. Right? It might be possible. Now you need to check on the router. So users who have access to this router right now. So see guys, see brother, there is one guy on which port? On the console port there is no any
Console
user.
port.
Zero user is
Okay.
there on the console port. One user is there on the line VTY who is admin.
Admin.
Right? If you want to close this session from here, you can do that as well. You can manage it. But right now, see this PC2. If this PC2 will access the router, they will also get access telnet and 10.1.1.100. Oh, anyone is able to access my router remotely, right? It should be
Yeah,
not like that.
because we put 4 users, I think, right?
Yes, if anyone have the username and password, they can access. Even if there is one user, it might be possible you cannot access your router remotely, but your clients are able to access. They can access, right?
Yeah.
It should be not like that. Only admin user should be able to access my router remotely. So you will configure your router
Okay.
for that. How? Through ACL. We can create one access control list here, ACL, and I am saying permit access is number 10, and we'll say permit 10.1.1.10. Only this IP address, while karma 0.0.255. Don't worry about the ACL syntax command. what is ACL, how ACL works, what is the command, we'll discuss everything.
Okay.
In this ACLC, we have only allowed one user, one IP address, which is the admin IP address, right? 10.1.1.10. Rest all the IP addresses are denied,
Block. Yeah.
are blocked, right? Now, if I will apply this access control list on my line VTY interface line VTY 024, and if I am going to say IP access class ACL number 10 and direction in, means whenever someone will try to access, what happened, IP access class 10, invalid input at the mark, access class number 10 direction in, done. So we have
Okay.
applied
No
the
IP. The access
ACL.
list.
So running configuration, again you can see whenever we are adding any configuration, the size of my configuration is
It's
increasing.
growing bigger, increasing. Yeah.
Yes, increasing. And now under line VTY, we have one more command you can see here. Where is my line VTY configuration? Here it is, line VTY 04. Now we can see, you can see we have applied the
Access
ACL as
class
well in 10.
10
And
in.
in ACL number 10, we are just allowing one IP address. So access list, right? We are only allowing this IP 10.1.1.1. Now, if I will exit from here, now again you can see I am on PC. Admin is on PC. Now, if this PC to client machine will try to access this router remotely, what will happen? Again, I am going to use same
Remote,
command telnet and 10.100. What it's saying? Connection refused by?
remote host because he's not connecting from 10.1.10.
Yes. Now only you are allowed to access your router, manage your router, right? And if you are going to access SSH or telnet, you can see it's working, right, for you.
Yes.
Username admin, password admin 123, admin and admin 123. Very good. Got it?
Yep.
Basic configuration, right? Now the backup. Praful, what about the backup?
We need to save the running config into the startup config because if we have a,
Okay, that is
power,
fine. See, right now my configuration is in RAM. If power bill goes down, I will lose my configuration.
yes,
Enable password or Cisco 123. So first thing is I need to save this running configuration into a startup configuration.
startup config,
Command is going to be copy running configuration to a startup
startup
configuration.
config.
Right? It is asking what should be the name of your file. Let's say startup config. Done.
Yes.
Configuration is saved. Now so a startup. Now you can see I have the same configuration in a startup as well. If I am going to add any new command on router, let's say I'm creating one more user. User is Cisco and password is Cisco 123. Right? So this configuration will be added in the running configuration. So run. In the running configuration, you can see the configuration is added. Here is my new user. But what about the startup configuration?
It's not there yet.
So a startup. In the startup configuration, only 2 users are
We
there,
have
right?
2 users only. Yeah.
So every time whenever you will add the new configuration on router, you are going to run this command, copy running configuration to a startup configuration, or you can use the shortcut keyword write.
Right, ma'am.
Done. But is it sufficient, Praful? Do I have the backup? No. If your router will get crashed, let's say later after 2 years, you need to replace this router. You might have thinking, Praful, why we will replace the router? There can be any reason. For an example, there is
Sure.
some enhancement on the new router, right? There is bugs, virus,
Okay.
right? The security is enhanced in the new router, right? The end of life, there is no
Kind of like
support available longer from the Cisco. So in those all cases, you have to replace your router. To replace your router, you need to replace the hardware, not the configuration. Configuration is going to be same only, right?
same.
If your
Yes,
router
same
got
configuration.
crash, if router got crash, then my startup configuration will also, we will also lose the startup configuration, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't have backup, right? So in the production, you will always have backup of your configuration on one dedicated server, right? This is my, let's say, TFTP server. This is my TFTP server. Here we will have the backup of my configuration, right? On this server only we can store the logs. We can use this server as a DHCP server as well, if you don't want your router to behave like a DHCP server, because as much as service you are going to enable on the router, right, CPU utilization will be increasing. As a network
Yes.
engineer, you have to take care about the performance of your network. Am I right?
Yes.
So users are getting better experience or not, users are able to access the application smoothly or not, those are the performance concern. This
Yeah.
is not our network designing. If I will talk about the network designing, so there are so many things which you need to keep in mind before designing a network. See, these are some basic points which we need to keep in mind before designing a network, like scalability, like stability. Network should be stable, redundancy, high
Redundancy.
availability, security, performance, proper IP address planning, centralized services, monitoring and management tool, documentation and labeling. You have to think about these all very carefully before designing your network. It is not like connect server anywhere, connect the switch together, one router, so many switches, so many client. No.
Yeah,
There
you
is
have
a
to.
structured, the proper structured, right? You have to design your network by following some structure, like the architecture. Right now,
Uh,
for the learning purpose,
yeah,
just we are connecting the router and switch. Here, I don't
but
have a redundancy for the switch. Similarly, I will have
yeah,
redundancy for the server as well, right? Same services will be available on multiple server. Same configuration will be available on multiple server, like that, okay?
yeah,
Let's say IP address of my server is 10.1.1.20. Admin IP address is 10.1.1.10, from where you
yeah,
are accessing your router, right?
yes,
Now let me configure this server. First I'm going to configure IP address 10.1.1.20, submit mask 255.255.255.0,
0,
default gateway IP address 10.1.1.100,
100,
and the DNS server
same,
10.1.1.100. Done.
100.
Go to services and let's enable TFTP service over here. By default, TFTP service
TFTP
is
on. It's
already
enabled
enabled,
already.
right? And since there are so many operating systems are there, guys, right? So many configuration or
Okay.
these are the OS, iOS operating system of different devices, Cisco routers. Here only I need to save our R1 configuration as well,
Okay.
right? So let me access my router again remotely through telnet. I already have access, and here I am going to test the connectivity between router and TFTP server. Ping 10.1.1.20. Is router able to ping the TFTP server or not? Yes, router is able to ping, we can say.
Yes.
Success rate is now 100%. I am
Yeah.
not on the admin PC, I am on the router, right? I have access of router through admin PC. Here
Yeah.
I am
Yep.
going to run
You
one
you
command to save my
you do.
configuration. Yeah.
Yes, you're doing a ping from the admin
No,
PC.
router
No,
to
no,
the
no. Yeah.
TFTP.
Sorry. So you are on the admin PC. On the admin PC, you're connected to the router, and on the router, you're doing a ping to the TFTP server,
Yes. Through
right?
line
Okay.
VTY.
Yes.
Line VTY I have connected to router, and
And you
then from
ping the.
router I am pinging to this
Yeah.
TFTP server.
Yeah. Got that. Yeah.
So reachability is
Okay.
there. Now I need to save my configuration, running configuration on TFTP server. I will use copy command, copy which configuration, running configuration, where, to the TFTP server. Enter. What it asking? What is the IP address of your TFTP server?
Address
Host.
or name
IP
of
address
the
is 10.1.1.20.
10.1.1.20.
It is asking what should be the name of your file. Is it fine if I am going to define the name r1 config? Yes, it is fine. And now you can see
Okay.
1244 bytes copied in 0 second.
So if we for example the address or name of remote host and into braces we don't have anything, so meaning you have to tell him what the IP address.
Correct.
For the destination file in the braces here it says r1 config, so it is like proposing you that this name, if you just type enter it will save on that particular name, right?
Yes. If you want
Okay.
to change the name here, you can define the
You have
name as well.
you write the name and then you press
Correct.
enter.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, got that.
Now if I will
Okay.
take you on the TFTP server, here go to TFTP and you can find that file. You can see r1 config,
Yes, it's added there.
right? Now for an example, I am adding one new router here, and here also I need to configure this router, right? So let me do one thing. Let me configure the IP address on the interface just to make reachability to the TFTP server, and then I can copy the entire configuration from TFTP,
Okay.
right? Just again I need console access of this device. One FE will go there, they will connect their laptop through console cable, and they will
Give
configure the one IP address just to
IP
make
address.
reachability. Terminal, okay, and see, he got the access. No, and he will
No.
configure one IP address on interface fast ethernet 0/1, say no shutdown, and let's say IP address
IP address
10.1.1.11 255.255.255.0, right?
0.
You can ask him to
You can leave now.
ping the TFTP server, ping 10.1.1.20. Ping will work after 30 seconds, switch will take 30 seconds. This port is C, LED is not green now. LED is
Give
orange, right? Port is not up. Now port is up. Now you can test the connectivity. Ping is working.
yes.
And now he can simply copy the configuration from TFTP. Copy from TFTP to the running. And what is asking? What is the IP address of TFTP server again? IP address of TFTP server is 10.1.1.20.
10.1.20.
It is asking the source file name. Source file name was R1
It's config.
config, right? Destination file name R2 config. Invalid. I think name is,
Oh,
let
it's
me check the
FIG. It's config FIG. You no
R1
CONFG. Yeah, R1 dash
CONGFG.
NFG. CONFG.
Again, I am going to try copy address 10.1.1.20, source file name R1
R1
CONFG,
and FG.
destination file name, let me say running configuration for now. Okay, and now you can see the configuration is copied. Now you can access this device as well. Now this port goes down. Why
Goes
this
down
port goes down? Because
because
in the new configuration this
it
port was
copied
not
this
configured,
IP.
right?
Okay, so it erased whatever we configured initially.
Yes, now this router is boot up with new configuration. Now if you will check the running configuration of this device, so run, you can see even host name, you can see host name is what? R1,
R1.
right? And only one interface is configured, F0/0, that's it. C F0/1 is not configured at all,
Is not configured.
right? So now we can change few configuration and then we can boot up our device. Let me say interface f0/1 first 0/0, and here I am saying no IP address. I'm removing the IP address and from 0/0
because it
and
will be a
f0/0.
duplicate.
Correct. f0/0 and IP address 10.1.1.11. 11, or let's say 101 255.255.255.0. Right?
0.
We can also change the host name to I2. Very good. Now,
No shit.
now you can access your router again, this router as well, through telnet or SSH from your admin PC, because you have the exactly same configuration. Go to
As the,
admin
yes, same
PC.
username, same password as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Exit, and here I can now say telnet or SSH. Telnet 10.1.1.101. Username admin, password admin 123. You can see you got the access of I2. Enable
Yes.
password is Cisco 123. I got the access of R2, and here show a startup configuration. There is nothing in the startup configuration, so I can copy running configuration to startup configuration. Like this, we can use same configuration, similar configuration on multiple devices, or I have backup as well for the future.
Okay.
Is it clear?
It's interesting. Yeah, it's clear.
This is basic configuration, initial configuration. Sometimes we are
Mhm.
saying initial configuration.
Okay.
So under initial configuration, you can find all the commands here, and then you can practice, right? If you are not going to practice by yourself, if you are thinking, I have already understood everything, why I will test, it will not work. You will not
So
see a remarkable improvement after this training program. If you want to see a remarkable improvement, you have to configure,
practice.
practice. Yes. Networking is 20% learning and 80% practice. What most of the people are doing, 80% learning and 20% practice, just opposite.
Okay, so we'll have to write
Yeah,
the
exactly,
commands, and that's then we'll be confident and we'll
exactly.
get the commands. Okay, I get you.
Practice mean perfect, right?
Yeah, practice makes perfect. Yeah.
So practice
Okay.
is 80%. So that's why I'm saying you need to practice this. And here command is already there in your note, which I have shared over the drive. So
Okay, the
DSCP in
commands are there.
DSCP service on the server. You can also enable the DSCP service on this server. Now see, DSCP service is running on R1 as well, on R2 as well, and now I am enabling on R3. Sorry, on the server, right? I don't want router should behave like a DSCP server. So here I am going to enable DSCP service, and here I will create the pool. My pool name was Cisco. Default gateway IP address was 10.1.1.100. DNS
100.
server IP address was also 10.1.1.100, or let's say I want to change the DNS server IP address now. My new DNS server IP address is 10.1.1.50. The starting IP address, it should start from here. Subnet mask, maximum number of user is, let's say, 200. The TFTP IP address you can define over here. TFTP IP address is 10.1.1.20. If you
10.120.
have the WLC wireless controller, we'll see that in wireless networking.
Okay.
Why we need WLC IP address? For example, WLC IP address is 100, the gateway. And you can see we have saved the pool. Now I can remove the DSCP configuration from my router, and see we have EIGRP adjacency as well between router 1 and router 2. I had enabled EIGRP on router number 1, then I had saved the configuration on TFTP, and I have copied same configuration on router number 2. That's
Yeah,
why
so it will
EIGRP,
be
right?
available.
So now we can remove few configuration. In the production, how you will work? Here is your admin PC, right? You will access both router one by one to modify the configuration. Telnet, or you will never use telnet. Every time you will use
SSH.
SSH-L, username admin, IP address 10.1.1.100, password is admin 1 2 3. I got the access of R1. Enable. Password was Cisco 123, and go to config T, say no IP DHCP pool Cisco. I have removed the
The DHCP
DHCP
service.
configuration. No router EIGRP ES number 10, right? And do show history. The history will show me all the previous command. I can copy this command from here, and I will put this command on R2 as well, right? So I need to access R2 now. I will close this access. Again, I am in PC. I'm on PC. I'm going to access now router 2
Yeah.
ssh-l admin and 10.1.1.101. What is the IP of R2?
100. Yeah, that was 101, 101. Is that good?
Telnet. I think crypto key is not generated on router number 2. I think so. Let me access through telnet 10.1.1.100. Yeah, telnet is working. Username admin, password is admin 123.
But this is you
Oh,
are on R1,
okay. Sorry. 101.
101, 1,
Username admin, password admin
1, 2, 3.
admin 123. Admin and admin
Admin.
123. Got the access of R2. Enable Cisco 123 and so run. Crypto key is not generated here, right? That's why SSH is not working.
Ah, okay. So absolutely we should have the
We need to add one command here. IP, sorry, I'm not IP, crypto key generate RSA,
generate.
and the size of your key 512 is for the testing. It's done. Now I need to remove those all commands. So let me copy and let me remove EIGRP and OSPF. Now I have only one DHCP. Here, this server is
Yeah,
behaving like a DHCP
DHCP server.
server. DHCP. Now someone need IP address. Let's say client machine. Let me check the client machine is able to get IP or not. Yes,
Requesting.
client machine got the IP address.
Okay, so it will give. So the next one which is available is .3, but then if, for example, if we use a static .3, and it won't give it
Then
3, right?
no,
It will give.
DHCP server can provide that IP address, but PC will give you error, duplicacy error, and
Okay, so
even the
the
things is going to happen automatically. Automatically, it will detect that this IP address is duplicate, and DHCP server is going to assign another IP address.
okay, so that
So
happens automatically.
yes, now see this machine got 3.
Okay,
So in the basic configuration on the router, you need to configure telnet, SSH, DHCP, right? DHCP relay agent when your DHCP server is in different subnet.
TCP relay. Okay, so if we have two different networks.
Yeah, now I am going to connect one more LAN here. Let's say this is one building. This
Okay,
is one building, and here I have another building, building 2. In building 2 also I have some switches, switch 2. In the design part will master right later.
okay, yeah. This
These
is
are the
for just for
pieces.
the sake of the exercise, right? So the other one that you showed me with the like 10 different points, scalability and so on. So we'll go through it in details later.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Here this side, let's say my submit is 20.1.1.0/24, right? So how these client machines will get IP address? You have access of R2 from admin PC. Here it is. Now here you need to configure F0/0 interface F0/0, say no shutdown, and IP address 20.1.1.100, 255, 255.0, and we'll on the server we'll create one more pool for this building users, right?
Okay, we
Go
have to
to,
create it. Yeah,
yeah,
different
one more pool is required
DHCP
with name, let's say LAN 2. I'm saying LAN 2. What is the gateway IP address in LAN 2? 20.1.100.
20.100.
What should be the DNS server IP address? Let us 20.1.1.5. Starting IP address 20.1.1.1. Number of user maximum 200 for an example, and then we can add it. Done. Now these client
Yes.
machines can also get IP address from the DHCP server, but you can see the client machine cannot get IP. It's not getting IP. See, this IP address belongs to APIPA. DHCP failed. See the log message over here. What it's saying?
DHCP's fail. Apipa is being used. Yeah,
Why
it get
DHCP is
one
fail? Because
because he don't know.
router break broadcast domain, you know this, right? This is one broadcast domain and
This
this
in
is
the
another
other.
broadcast domain, right?
Yes,
My DHCP server is in another broadcast domain now. What is broadcast domain? The
it's
domain
like a,
area where broadcast message can be travel. Broadcast message of this domain cannot travel in this domain, right? Or
no.
broadcast message of this domain cannot travel in this domain, because this is different broadcast domain, this is different broadcast domain. And
Yes,
DHCP uses broadcast, right? When the client machine need IP address from the DHCP, it will generate discover message. DHCP work on DORA process. DORA stands for what? Let me tell you here. DHCP work on DORA process. D stands for discover.
discover.
Discover. What is the use of discover? Discover message is used to discover the DHCP server.
Okay.
O stands for offer. DHCP server is going to offer the IP address with the help of offer message. R stands for request. Then client machine is going to request for that IP address, and then finally server will send
Assign.
acknowledgement.
Okay.
This
Assign.
is how
Acknowledge.
DHCP works. For an example, client machine, and here is the DHCP server. Right? The client machine don't have IP address. Let's say DHCP IP address is 10.1.100. So client machine is going to generate discover message. In the discover message profile, what will be the source address? Source address will be 0.0.0.0. Means I don't have address, IP address. Destination IP address will be broadcast 255.255.255. Because this client machine don't know the DHCP server, right?
Yes.
Source MAC will be the MAC address of client, let's say A, and destination MAC will be what? Broadcast. All F, broadcast. And then it will send to DHCP server. When DHCP server will receive it, DHCP server will generate offer message. In the offer message, it will offer one IP address, let's say 10.1.1.1. It is offering this IP address. What will be source? 10.1.100 DHCP server IP address. Destination broadcast, because still this machine don't have IP, right?
Yes. Not assigned yet.
Yes. So destination will be broadcast, layer 2 address will be also broadcast, and DHCP server will send it to the client, the offer message. Now client machine will request for that IP address 10.1.1.1. Again this message is broadcast.
Broadcast.
All the messages are going to be broadcast in your DHCP. And then finally server will send acknowledgement. This is how DHCP works. So what is happening here in my lab? What is happening in my lab? Client machine is generating the discover message. Discover message is broadcast. It will forward to the router, and router will discard it.
No offer coming.
Router cannot forward this discover
Send it
message from one broadcast domain to another broadcast
to
domain, right?
another one. Okay.
So here DHCP relay agent comes in picture. What is relay agent? Relay agent is a feature to tell router that, hey R2, do you know, here is the DHCP server and the IP address of DHCP server is 10.1.1.20. Let's do one thing for me. Whenever any user is generating discover message, I know you cannot forward the broadcast message to the DHCP server. But let's do
Okay.
one thing for me. Just convert the broadcast message into unicast and send it to
Unicast.
DHCP server. And when you will receive the offer message, again convert it into the broadcast and send it to the client machine. So this router will act as a relay agent between your client machine and DHCP
Server.
server. 1 minute, getting one call. Okay, well, understood. Done.
Okay. But that's the relay. It's the same thing as the IP helper.
Yes, this is the same. That is the command to
The
configure.
command is for the IP helper, and it shows like a
Yes.
okay,
So
like a
router 2
relay.
will be one relay agent, one agent between your client machine and
Um,
DHCP server.
and the DHCP server.
How you will configure? You have access of router number 2 from the admin PC. Go to admin PC. See, here I am going to say config t interface f0/0 and IP helper address. What is the IP address of DHCP server? 10.1.1.20. That's it.
10.1.120.
Now if the client machine will try to request, will try for IP address, it should get IP now. Let me check. Still not getting. Let me try once again. Not getting. Now what is happening? What is the issue? Now we need to troubleshoot it. Troubleshoot the issue. Why client machine is not getting IP address? Why it's getting IP from the APIPA? What is APIPA? APIPA is like the temporary IP address.
Okay.
In case your DHCP server is not available or not behaving well, in that case your client machine will get a temporary IP address from the APIPA, that is automatic IP allocation.
Okay.
Right? Let me check what is happening. What is happening over here? See, the issue is what? Issue is the gateway IP address. Gateway should be what? To reach to this PC, what should be the gateway on DHCP server? This interface IP, right? Not this one.
Uh, yeah, the gateway should be
R2.
the other one.
And IP address of R2 is 101, I think, right?
Yes.
In the pool also, we can change the IP address now. Go to DHCP service, and here is your pool for 10.1.1. Here we need to change the gateway. It should be 101, right? And all good. Let me try to get IP now. Now you can see I got the IP, right? The
Okay.
correct IP address.
Yeah, but then for PC1, for PC2, 3, 4, the gateway should be R1.
10.101. Yes. R2F 0/1. And for this PC, gateway is F0/0 of I2.
And then
20.101.
you change the gateway for the DHCP server to the F01,
Yes. Now
right?
see, earlier these client machines was getting what gateway? Earlier this client machine was getting gateway 10.100. Now if this client machine will request for IP address, it will get the gateway what?
101. Uh,
Default gateway is not there. Let me check the DHCP. Still some issue is there. Service, DHCP, and where it is? Cisco. Here it is. Gateway is 101. 101, and you need to save it. Click save. I had forget to save. Click on save. Now let me request for IP again, and this time it will get the correct gateway. Getting my point? Gateway.
No, the gateway is still 000
mm, 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 mm.
because the you put, I mean, under
Service
yeah,
DHCP. Here is my pool Cisco.
but here uh,
Gateway is
the gateway should be 101 because the gateway here should be R1, no?
R2.
But pool,
Mhm.
the gateway of the TFTP server should be F00 on R1.
No, see, gateway can be R1 also, R2 also. But I know na, you know na that if this user want to communicate with this user, then this should be the gateway. I am changing the gateway on
Yes.
TFT on the FTP,
Ah, okay.
sorry,
Okay.
DHCP. So I have already changed. Why it's not working? Let me try once again. Gateway is still 0.0.0. We can do one thing. We can delete this pool and we can create a new pool then. Let me say remove, and I am creating new pool with name again Cisco. The gateway IP address is 10.1.1.101 and starting IP address
And that 1,
10.1.1.0. Submit mask 255
5, 5, 2,
255
5, 2, 5,
255.0. Maximum number of user 200.
200,
TFTP IP address 10.1.1.20,
20,
WLC IP address 10.1.1.100, and save. DNS
DNS.
server 10.1.1.100, save. And go to client machine and let me assign the IP now.
No.
Okay, what is happening? Let's fix it.
10, that so it's getting the IP address, but it's not getting the default gateway.
Mm, 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 mm. DHCP Cisco default gateway 10.1.1.100. Sorry, from the admin PC. So IP interface brief 20.10.101, that is fine.
01.
Mm, This is the issue of simulation. No worry, it should work. Configuration is correct. There is no any issue with configuration. Or I think the router is router has already the pool. Maybe router is providing the IP address. Let me check that. So running configuration. Maybe your client machines are not getting IP address from the server. Let me check the pool. DHCP
Pool.
pool is configured or not.
We removed the pool, I think. I don't think we have.
We don't have pool, right?
No, no
On
pool.
the
No.
router number 1 as well, let me check. Telnet 10.1.1.100 10.1.100 username admin, password admin
1, 2,
123,
3.
and so run or enable Cisco 123 and so run.
Hmm.
DHCP is not running anymore. This server should only
You restart the server.
assign the IP address. LAN. Oh my God! Here is the issue. This client machines are getting IP from this pool, right? The default pool. Here we can set 10.1.1.1.101.
But this is the default, so we can't remove this one.
No, we can't remove. Now we have set it. Now go to client machine and check the concept. Try to learn the concept, right? You can do it. Now you can see that it is getting the correct gateway IP address, correct? And
Yes.
this machine has also got the IP address with correct gateway. Another PCs can also get the IP address. So when DHCP relay agent is required, when DHCP server is in different broadcast domain.
Net broadcast time.
And now these two LAN can communicate even. If I am going to ping from PC1, PC2 to this PC, what is the IP address of PC7? What IP address? 20.5. So let me ping
20.115.
ping 20.1.1.5 and you will see ping should work. Ping is working, right?
Yeah.
So now these two LANs are able to communicate. Is there any more command profile in the basic? The star recording configuration, we'll see this later. This is my basic
Okay.
IS commands on router. Here is the another lab,
Okay.
right? Router is already configured with IP address
192.168.100.
I'm assuming this is the network of a company. So IP interface brief. See, IP is
Brief.
already configured here. .100 is the gateway. Let me enable the HTTPS service over here on this server. Go to first IP config and IP is configured. You can see 10.1.1.1. The gateway is 10.100. Done. Service.
Yes.
In the last class, we had configured this lab. Remember.
Yeah. Yes.
Go to HTTP service. I'm going to disable the HTTP. Just keep enabling HTTPS.
HTTPS.
If you want to change the coding, you can change the coding in HTML. Here I can say instead of Cisco packet tracer, I can say what? PM networking, right? Here, welcome to PM networking. This is HTML coding. You can change it
Yeah.
instead of a small page. Here we can say CCNA, like I'm creating the website. CCNA,
Yes.
CCNP, right, like that, and then save it.
Save. Okay.
Right? What is the domain name of this server profile? Let's say domain name is www.pmnet.com. Okay, that is my domain name. Means user
Okay.
is going to access this domain name. User cannot remember the IP address. You know this. Remembering IP address is difficult
Difficult. Yeah.
as compared to
We go by
remembering
the
the
name.
domain name. Remembering the name is easy, right? So that's why I have assigned
Yes.
one name, domain name. Where we'll configure this domain name? On the DNS, right?
Yes.
DNS is domain name system, which is used to resolve
Yes.
the domain name into IP address. Here is my DHCP server. Let me configure the DHCP server as well. IP address is already configured. Go to services, DHCP, and here is my pool, LAN 1. See, these user PC1 to PC6 will get IP address from this range 192.168.1.1 is the starting IP address, subnet mask, the gateway, everything is already configured. The DHCP service means client machine should able to get IP. Let me try from the PC1, go to IP and see this machine already have IP,
It's already there. Yeah.
right? Now go to DNS service, DNS server, check the IP configuration on DNS. IP is already configured. Go to services,
Let
then
me.
DNS service, and one domain name is there. I can remove this. I can create the new domain. What is the name?
P.
www. pmnet.com.
pmnet.com.
pmnet.com. What I am telling to my DNS server that whenever someone will request for this domain name, assign this IP address, resolve this domain name into which IP? 10.1.1.1, which is the HTTP server IP address. Similarly, we can have multiple many entries. Here is the FTP server. Let me set the configure the FTP server as well. IP is already configured. Go to service. Where is the FTP service? Here it is. By default, FTP service is also
On
on.
enable.
Enable. These are the files available. One user is there with name Cisco, password Cisco. You can create more user as well.
Okay.
Let's say admin and admin 123. Admin 123.
YouTube
What access you want to give? Read, write, delete, rename, and list. Let me add.
list.
So two users are there. Got it? Now I am
Yeah.
here on the PC, and from this PC, if I am going to ping 10.1.1.1, ping should work.
Yes.
Ping is
The
working.
first one there. Yeah. Ping
I
is
can access
working.
the website now. Go
Yes.
to open any browser here and type your domain name
pmnet.com.
www.pmnet.com. Not working. Why it's not working? Tell me, everything is in front of you. HTTP service is not enabled. Which service is enabled? HTTPS. But right
HTTPS.
now I am accessing with.
HTTP.
Let me access with HTTPS.
S.
And now you can see through HTTPS I got the access of PM networking website.
Yes.
Clear, sir?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So
Similarly PC2. And how the things are working? See, let's say this is a new client. Newly added client. Here I am going to add one new client. So what is the first step? This client need IP
my
address.
IP address.
For the IP address, it will generate discover message. It will send
Yeah.
discover message to router. Router have to,
Multiple.
this router should be configured as helper, relay agent. It will forward the discover message to DHCP server. DHCP server will send offer message. It will send the
Promise.
request message, and it will send the acknowledgement, right?
Acknowledgements. Yeah.
And finally, this machine will have IP address, the first step. Let me show you that as well here. Click on the PC, click on the DHCP. See, it has generated the discover message.
Yeah.
In the discover message, see source IP address is what?
Source is 000 dot
Destination
0.
is broadcast. Source MAC is the MAC address of PC. Destination MAC is broadcast. At layer 4, source port number is the DHCP client port number 68, and destination port number is DHCP server port number 67. It's work on UDP. This is UDP header. DHCP uses UDP
Okay.
service or transport layer. Yesterday we had seen application layer protocols. And then finally the DHCP message. It will send to your router to the gateway switch. Switch will broadcast it. All the devices except R1 will discard the discover message, and router is going to convert it into unicast, and then it will forward to server. Now here
Server.
if you will check the discover message, now you can see source IP address and destination IP address is changed. Inbound PDU is the packet which was coming, and outbound is which is going.
Going out.
So in the going you can see destination IP address is unicast. So your router has changed the source IP and destination IP, source MAC and destination MAC. Rest everything is same.
Same.
Right? It will send to server, and DHCP server will generate offer
The
message.
offer.
DHCP.
Yes. This is their IP address.
It's not happening. Here it is. Here is your DHCP offer message. See what IP address it is offering.
One.
In the DHCP message, you can see here is DHCP message. This is my UDP header. This is my IP header. This is Ethernet header. Ethernet header, IP header, right? UDP header,
Yeah. And
UDP header, and the actual DHCP message. In the actual DHCP message, are you able to see the offered IP address?
yeah, 192.168.1.4.
1.4, right? So client machine will get this IP address. Now client machine is sending what? Request message.
Request.
Client machine is requesting for that particular IP address. Here you can see in the DHCP. It is requesting for 192.168.1.4,
4.
right? And then finally server will send acknowledgement. Here it is, acknowledgement. And now my client machine will have IP address. Go to client machine and check. See,
Yeah.
got it?
Yes, sir.
When I will open the browser, and in the browser if I am going to type www.pmnet.com, what will happen? As soon as you will
Uh,
type your domain name https and
Net.
pmnet.com, what will happen? Your machine will look up for the IP address
IP
of this
address
domain
of
name in
the
their cache
domain
memory
name.
first, in their buffer cache. If the IP address is not available, then your machine will look up for DNS server IP address. Is DNS server IP address configured or not? Yes, DNS server IP address is
Yes.
10.1.1.3. If
3.
DNS server is not configured, then it cannot resolve the domain name. Always remember this. Now, client machine
Okay.
got the IP address, and client machine need to resolve the IP address of pmnet.com. So it will generate one DNS query. DNS query.
Query.
For what? To ask the IP address of www.pmnet.com.
PMnet.com.
What will be the source IP address? 192.168.1.4. Their own IP address. Destination IP address DNS server IP 10.1.1.3.
10.3.
Source MAC address of PC, destination MAC gateway, and it will forward to your router. Let me show you. Open the simulation mode, and in the browser I'm going to type the domain name. https and pmnet.com. This is my fully qualified domain name. As soon as I have entered, you can see the DNS query message. If you will
Yeah.
open this DNS query message, again DNS works on UDP. So Ethernet header, IP header, IP header, Ethernet header, UDP header.
UDP.
You can see in the UDP destination port is 53, source port is random port number. Are you able to connect the previous class, last class?
Yeah.
And then UDP header, and then DNS query. In the DNS query, you can see it is requesting, it is trying to resolve this domain name,
PMnet. Yeah.
pmnet.com. Done. It will send this DNS
Yeah.
query to the DNS server, and DNS server will generate what? DNS
Yeah.
response message. Let me show you the DNS response message. In the DNS response message, you can see in the DNS response message again Ethernet header, IP header, UDP header, source port 53, the well-known port number of DNS, and DNS header. In the DNS
Query.
query, you can see where is the IP of?
Class
I
1.
think that we are not able to see here. Here should be the IP address as well. Maybe that field is not available. Domain not resolved.
Not
What
resolved.
happened?
HTTPS pmnet.com.
That's why you are not able to find the IP address. Let me check again with HTTPS.
HTTPS. I have
Here is my DNS. First one is going for HTTP, second one is going for HTTPS.
S.
I'm interested in this second one, second message. Domain name pma.com. Okay. Let me play. Let me check this one. pma.com. Okay. There is some issue then with the DNS. Not able to, this machine is not
Resolve
able to resolve the domain.
domain name.
Why? Let me check the DNS service here. www.pma.com is fine. The fully qualified domain name, let me write the fully qualified domain name here. https and save it. And now let me request www, sorry,
HTTPS
https
/pmnet.com.
pmnet.com. Here is the DNS query. Let's send the DNS query to the DNS server. Let's check the reply. Response message, DNS response. Let me open this. pma.com. Very good. Why it is not able to resolve the domain name? Let me copy the URL from here and let me paste the URL in the browser once. https.
S.
Okay, now we got the response. So see what is happening behind the scene. First your machine is going to resolve the DNS.
DNS.
After that it will send
It
HTTP
was
request. And you know HTTP is TCP based
blocked.
protocol. It is
Yeah.
TCP based. So all the TCP based protocol will first establish TCP connection. It will send what?
Connection.
SYN message first. SYN, then SYN plus ACK, then ACK.
Then act.
And after that it will send actual HTTP request. So this is happening behind the scene. You can try it in your lab. You can go slowly, right? You can
Yeah.
try to capture the packet, see the information, right? You will learn more. But the thing is
Yeah.
working exactly same behind the scene.
Okay.
Getting IP address from the DHCP server to accessing the website. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Similarly for the FTP, let's say this user PC1 PC1 is a content writer, right? Is writing the
Okay.
content. Let me create one file here, text editor, and here I am going to write one text. Hello, my name is Praful Mishra, right? And then I need to save it. Save with name. Let's say what? Let's say
So
cisco.txt. This is text file, right?
yeah.
Now if I will check my directory here, dir, so you can see one file is there with name
Yes. Cisco.txt
cisco.txt. Length of file is 32 bytes.
32.
Now I need to save this file to the FTP server. I need to send this file to FTP server. I need to save it on FTP so that other users can also access this file. This is
Fine.
centralized file, right? So how
Yeah.
I will save it? First of all, I need to access the FTP server. Am I right? How you will
Yeah.
access the FTP server?
Where's the IP address?
How? FTP and IP.
10.1.1.4.
Username. Username was
Uh,
Cisco or admin. Two users
this-
over there. Admin and
okay,
password.
that's same.
Admin 123. Now see, I got the access of my.
But this is the username that we put on the router. So that's
No,
gonna
no.
be the
On the
same username.
FTP server also we have created this user. See,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
here it is.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Now I got
Got
the
confused.
FTP
Sorry.
server access. Now to
Yes.
save something on FTP server, I will use put command. Put, and then which file you want to put? Cisco dot
Cisco.txt.
txt. Now you can see 32 bytes data copied in 0.155 second, right? Now on the FTP server, you will find this file somewhere, cisco.txt, right?
Yeah, it's there.
Even here from the PC, I have access of FTP. If I have access, I can check the directory. In the directory, you will find the cisco.txt file, right?
Yeah.
Now other PC, let's say this PC, newly added PC, this one, want to download this file. How he will download? He will again access the FTP server first, FTP and the IP address 10.1.1.4.
10.1.4.
Username, admin, maybe their username is
Admin
Cisco.
Cisco.
Their password is Cisco.
Cisco
All the
1,
user
2.
will have their own username and password, right? He got
Yeah.
the access of
To on the
FTP.
FTP. Yeah.
Now he need to download the file, right? Which file? dir, check the directory, cisco.txt file, this one. So to download the file from the FTP server, you will use get command, get
Get
and
get and then the file
cisco.txt
name.
file is copied, right? Now I am going to exit from here, and if I will check my local directory, I will find that. Okay, dir. So you
Yeah.
can see cisco.txt.
Yeah, it's there.
So in the production, similarly, users, employees are accessing the centralized server, are uploading something there, and others are downloading that from the same server, right?
Yeah.
It is centralized server which is accessible from everyone.
Every
Similarly,
user.
maybe nowadays we are hosting it on the cloud, right? My FTP server is over cloud, for an example, or any application app one cloud on AWS, right? So
Okay.
again, these all user can upload the same file on the cloud. They can download from the cloud, right? But only thing which we need to add over here is internet connectivity. Cloud is connected to internet, right?
Internet. Yeah.
So if users have internet access, they can access the cloud application as well,
Okay.
right? Nowadays we are using the virtualization, right? On the single server you will have multiple
VMs.
VMs, but the networking is going to work exactly same everywhere, whether it is cloud, it is virtualization, or it is a physical server.
Okay. So
Every
same
time the packet
principle
flow, the
applies.
process is going to be same, the fundamental is same, and this is the foundation. If you know this, you can understand all the advanced technologies, you can understand the advanced networking, enterprise networking. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
This is so important, more important than your OSP or BGP or any protocol, even as SD-WAN or the cloud automation. So important. Nothing more important
Okay.
than this. So here you
Okay.
have this notebook. Till now I have asked you to download two notes file, right?
Yes.
One is what is network, one is basic iOS command. And you can also download the official book of CCNA 200301. That's it. Day by day, when we'll proceed from here, I will be asking you to download the more
Okay.
files. Now
Okay.
it's your time, your responsibility to configure it in your lab.
Yes, sir.
Any questions, sir?
No.
There are so
All
many
good.
things here. This is not the all about the configuration, right? Here now we need to configure the policies, we need to implement the security, we need to optimize the performance, right? Like if I am going to ping from this PC to, let's say, that PC7. What was the IP of PC7?
Uh,
20.5, right? So if I am going to ping 20.5 from here, ping 20.1.5, how much time it is taking to come reply, right? 1 millisecond, 6
one minute.
millisecond, 1 millisecond, right?
Yeah.
I had
1 minute.
sent 4 packet, I got the reply of all, loss is 0% loss, right? And there are so many tools which you will learn. Average is 4 millisecond, maximum is 16 millisecond to optimize the performance of your network.
Okay.
So before leaving the network, we have to set up the monitoring tool, management tool, we have to optimize the performance, we have to check our all configuration, like design wise and the configuration wise, everything is working properly or not. If everything
Okay.
is working, then we can allow user. Now you guys are allowed to run the business on network. Now I am
Network.
here to fix any issue in future. It is like
Okay.
that.
Got that.
Even you can set up the lab in GNS3 as well, like this. Doesn't matter where you are
Okay.
configuring, everywhere it is going to work
To be
like
this
same.
same,
Yes.
same, yeah, same
Whether we are
principle.
doing it on real devices, in the simulation, on the EVNG, even in the EVNG, you are going to use the real routers images.
Okay.
In the next class, we'll try to cover the